It's your boy Online Devo, and we back with another video. Look, we got a video about Maury. Mother of three gets a BBL and dies? What the? Let's get into it, man.
All right, so I was just going through my bookmarks folder on Instagram because I typically, scroll on Instagram and I come across a whole bunch of stories that I may want to talk about on the channel for you guys. And it's kind of a good way to, keep track of things for potential video topics. And as I was just going through the folder, I came across a story that I meant to talk about involving an NYPD detective and mother of three, according to the story, who allegedly died a week after getting a BBL in Colombia. Like,
Nah, a detective with a BBL? What the fuck? What? Bro. Nah, imagine getting arrested by a motherfucker with a BBL. That's kind of crazy, alright? Are you even gonna care? You just like, bro, you just so annoyed and mad that you got arrested, you probably not even gonna care. Never mind.
wasn't it not too long ago that I talked about a story of a 14 or 13-year-old girl in Mexico who died of getting a BBL and a breast surgery because it was approved by her mother and her stepdad, who was a surgeon himself? Apparently, she died, I think, a day after the operation, or I may be misremembering. I think she may have died on the operating table. Whatever the case may be, the point...
Bro, 14? What? But what is wrong, bro? What is wrong with people, bro? Honestly, no, like dead ass. What is wrong with people? 14 years old and you're approving that? That is, bro. These niggas.
It is that 14-year-old girl died after getting a boob job and a butt job, which was it's still a mind-blowing story to this day. If you want to,
that nigga weird, bro. That nigga weird as fuck. Nah, bro. I feel like he has some type of ulterior motive with that. Like, I don't know. He weird. Fuck that nigga.
Go see the video. Just search for the keyword BBL on my channel, and that even sounds crazy telling you guys to do that, but yeah. I mean, there's been so many stories of people dying after getting BBLs, and I'm just like sitting here wondering, is it still worth it? And people are actively seeing these stories and are still going ahead and getting BBLs in these undescript doctors' offices who are posing as surgeons in developing countries. Like, is it really worth the risk? I don't know, especially if you're a police officer in New York City. Like, why do you want a BBL? What's the point of that? Like, is this supposed to protect you from gunshot wounds, make you run faster, or apprehend your suspects faster? I don't know. Seems kind of weird. But ladies and gentlemen, before we go any further into the story, be sure to follow me on Instagram. I am running a $100 giveaway for 3 individuals who support the channel this month. The previous giveaway was for $70 to 3 people or Battlefield 6, either of their choice. As you can see here, I ran the giveaway through this giveaway website, and it shows all 3 winners, as you can see here: Mia, Board Menace, and Baby JS Mama. I did message all of them, and one was very happy. She was very happy, which was actually pretty cool to see. She said, she'll take the cash and she's gonna use the money to help with groceries for herself.
I ain't gonna lie, nigga, I'm a subscriber too. I might join that motherfucker. Nah, I never joined giveaways. Yeah, you could win, but it's like I don't really feel like it.
And her son this month, so that was pretty cool to see. Other person said they've been supporting since like 2017, which is a long ass time, and sent the money out to them. They were super gracious as well. They had a run to someone this month. I think I'm gonna run this other platform supportive. A NYPD detective, loving mom of 3, dies in Colombia week after butt lift procedure. And I just gotta say again, that is a crazy ass statement. You left behind 3 whole kids, bro. They lost their mom because you wanted to be superficial. You wanted an extra layer of ass fat for what? Genuinely speaking, a mom of 3 and an
Damn, you're risking that big of a cosmetic surgery? Unless it has something to do with health, but I'm gonna assume that it didn't. You're doing a surgery that big for cosmetic purposes, and you have 3 kids waiting for you? Bro, man, oh man, bro, like, you really cannot control who you're born to, bro. You could be born to like the worst possible people ever, and you have no choice at all, and then they start trying to raise you, but they don't really know how to raise nobody because they're terrible people. I'm not saying she's terrible, but did you have to get the surgery? Did you really have to?
NYPD police officer. How is that going to help you in your daily life? They say an NYPD detective and loving mom of 3 died a week after receiving a butt lift and liposuction. So I guess they took the fat out of her stomach and transferred it to her butt cheeks. Basically, that's what a BBL is. And the procedure happened in Colombia, prompting her
Shit,
grieving husband.
too.
Oh, so she was married too. That is crazy. To request an investigation into her sudden death, according to sources and reports. Now, I'm pretty sure the husband knew that she was going to get a BBL, and he probably, who knows if he co-signed on it or if she said, I'm just going to do it anyway and you can't tell me what to do. Gotta understand, a lot of married people are struggling out here with even compromising with their spouses. Who knows if the marriage was in turmoil or not.
Sometimes, hey, from what I hear, it do be little situations like, look, I'm gonna do regardless. She could be like, look, it's my body, I'm gonna do what I wanna do. And it's like, you know what? Do your thing. But I'm gonna do what I can do too. So take that into account. You know what I mean? Or don't take it into account. I'm gonna still do what I'm gonna do in response to you going through with that after I already expressed how I feel about it. But who knows? He could have been supportive of it, dumb nigga. But hey,
if you're married, because as soon as I heard BBL, I'm thinking she's, single mom. Like, why on God's green earth do you need a BBL if you're happily married at home to your husband and a mother of 3 kids? Now, the husband may have signed off on it or not. I don't know. But if I were her husband, I would tell her, you do not need a BBL. I'm good with the way you look now. And if you are so adamant on getting a BBL, let's just save up and do it in America. They do provide BBLs. Dr. Miami here in Florida, Miami, in America. Safe, legal, no sketchy operations or procedures. It's going to be a lot more expensive, but at least you're likely going to survive the operation. Respectfully said, of course. I'm just saying. Right. They also say...
But you doing that big of a surgery and you trying to skimp on out? Like, I could get it if it was a life or death situation and you're like, look, I'm going to go to the option I can, do done. I could get done the quickest, I can go to them in a week. I got $5,000 for this surgery, boom. But you're cheaping out on a cosmetic surgery, though, to get a bigger ass? What? Nah.
Detective Alicia Stone, who was 40 years old, was rushed to Fundación Valle del Lili Hospital.
I put like this: if I'm like, yo, I put like this: if my life in danger, or if I got something I need to get fixed by a doctor, and within a week, or I'm cooked, I'm going to the cheapest person. I'm going to whoever I can afford. You know what I'm saying? Whoever I can afford. But for cosmetic surgery, like for like some braces or something like that, nah, bro. I'm taking my sweet time. I'm picking the right person. I'm not in that much of a rush.
In Cali after she was discovered unresponsive in her hotel room around 6:30 a.m. Thursday, according to law enforcement sources. And here is an image of the 40-year-old married mom of 3. Listen, I'm just gonna say this needs to stop. Why are so many women dying after getting BBLs and boob jobs and all kinds of surgeries? Like, is it really worth risking your entire life for a cosmetic surgery of which you don't need at all, especially if you're married in a relationship? 3 kids, by the way, and a husband at home. I honestly, so far this entire story is crazy.
Them niggas probably don't know what they doing. They probably watching YouTube videos in between surgeries. Oh, yo, how do I get the left cheek to sit even with the right? They probably doing hella shit, bro. I would not trust these niggas.
And not only did these kids lose their mother, but I'm sure her mom, what does her mom think about this? Her sisters, her brothers, her uncles and aunts, the rest of her extended family. Like, good God. They go on to say, though, that the 13-year NYPD veteran, so she was tenured, who was a part of the department's Internal Affairs Bureau, was pronounced dead just over an hour later, sources say. And also, correction, I just figured out that police officers can't be tenured. I suppose that only applies to specific positions in academia. In any case, her cause of death was listed as, and I quote, unspecified cardiac arrest, sources say. And according to Google, it says the BBL, or the Brazilian butt lift, has historically been associated with the highest mortality rate of any aesthetic surgical procedure. So out of all of them, rhinoplasty, double jaw surgery, chin implants, boob jobs, breast reductions, etc., the BBL has the highest mortality for very specific reasons, of course. But they say it's primarily due to the risk of pulmonary fat embolism. A PFE, which is pulmonary fat embolism, we're learning today, occurs when fat is inadvertently injected into the gluteal muscle, which is the buttocks, and enters the bloodstream.
These niggas choose to go the cheapest route on one of the surgeries with the highest mortality rate. They probably don't even know that, though. They probably don't even search that far ahead to be like, yo, what's the likelihood of me surviving the BBL? They probably just go off of what people tell them on Instagram and shit. Damn, bro. All for a fat ass, bro. That's crazy, man. Love yourself.
Traveling to the heart and lungs, which can be fatal, basically clogging those organs, leading to your potential death. And back to the article, they say Stone had undergone a liposuction and gluteal fat transfer, which is the more technical term for BBL. And they said this procedure happened in the country of Colombia on October 16th, just 1 week prior. They say she was also taking anticoagulants, which is, I believe, to thin the blood. You know, blood coagulation means it gets thicker. Anticoagulants would mean, I suppose, getting thinner. And pain medication as a part of her post-operative plan, and was transferred to a hotel to recover after the surgery. Her husband, Michael Stone, told the Daily News that he intends to request an autopsy and probe what led to her sudden death. They say, and I quote, "The doctor who called me from Colombia just called me and told me my wife had just passed away." Good God, bro, if I were the husband, I would be devastated. I honestly wouldn't believe it. I'd probably be in shock. Like, in shock as to what that...
I'd be like, bro, why? All right, nigga, what the fuck did you do to my wife? What? And bro, like, it's just so, I don't even know, how did it even get so popular, right? Because we know most humans like instant gratification. But then I guess there has been another trend of, fat asses being in the trend, or fat asses being, was being applauded on social media. So it's like, damn, but some people got it naturally. So with that, people gonna find a way to get in on that trend, but they don't want to put that work in to have that art. They just wasn't, born with that type of body shape. So they want to get that surgery just to fit in for a social media trend, just for a social media trend, bro. That's crazy.
I'm hearing. They also say, and I quote, "She didn't have any information to tell me when I was asking her. Something just doesn't add up," end quote. He said. Michael said, and I quote, "To be called Thursday and told that she passed away, that is just shocking and hurtful. I don't have the facts, and that's what I need, the facts of what happened." Michael recalled that his wife was, and I quote, "perfectly fine just before her procedure, and told relatives the day before her death that she was feeling all right." And then below, they basically described that they opened a fundraiser, I believe a GoFundMe and whatnot, to end off the story. Listen, guys, I know in this world, people, especially as they get older and they get enough money, they want to get these expensive surgeries. This kind of reminds me of like the way Kanye's mom died, or Michael Jackson died, and various other celebrities getting botched surgeries and passing away. Like, in my opinion, it's just not worth it, man. Genuinely speaking, this has to be one of the dumbest ways to go out, in my opinion. Getting a BBL. Of all things you could have got, a BBL is literally what took you out. And of course, the comments.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie, that's kind of crazy. That's one of those things, and like, that's one of those things where a normal person, you're like, yo, how'd you tear your ACL? Or how'd you tear your Achilles? They're like, oh, I tripped on the stairs. You're like, nigga, how the fuck did you? That's how crazy it is. I'm like, damn, bro, a BBL, that's really? Like, what do you even tell people? You just say, like, surgery? They probably just say surgery when in a conversation. They probably just say something like, yo, she passed away from surgery. But all respects, no disrespect. I'm not telling, like, crazy disrespect. I'm just using her as the example. You feel me?
Section are saying, because the comment section is always crazy, they're saying RIP, but why the F would 40-year-old detective and mother of 3 be getting a BBL? And the first commenter below that responding said she was probably lonely and single, not getting the attention. Little did they know, because I just read the article, she was a whole mother of 3 and married. So clearly she was not lonely. Somebody else said mother of 3, quote, BBL, quote, 40, quote, question mark, question mark, question mark. They're like, what? Somebody else said it's easy to hate, but these people probably suffer from severe self-image issues. May she rest in peace. Planet Fitness, someone else said, is a way safer alternative. Definitely get some squats and some lunges and some RDLs. Why does a mother of 3, someone else said, need a BBL? Yeah, these.
And yeah, I know some people bodies just will not have a fat ass, bro. It is what it is. Don't mean don't go work out and try. Like, damn, is a fat ass that important to you? Because at that point, it's time for you to go to a therapist and get some help.
These are the questions people have. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. What do you think about this? This is probably going to be going to Spotify.
Yeah, ain't gonna lie, this shit crazy, bro. This is crazy. Hey, quality video, Maury. Love yourself, bro. Love yourself, man, because no one is gonna live your life. Only you will live your life, bro. People just experience it with you. So remember, love yourself. Treat yourself with kindness because how you treat yourself is how others will treat you. I'm gone. Peace.